Bally Sports Illustrated's Michael Beller with another edition of Beller's Bracketology. Let's take a look at the weekend to come in college hoops and some great non-conference matchups that can affect March resumes. Of course, on Saturday, we'll see a couple of SEC and Big 12 battles in that SEC Big 12 challenge. As a Missouri guy, I'm still waiting for Kansas and Missouri to make that work, but that's neither here nor there. KU and UK is going to get all the headlines, Michael Beller, but those teams are going dancing. Maybe this Arkansas OK State one is more important for one of those teams' March resume.
Yeah, those teams are going dancing. Those teams might be one seeds. Those teams are going to be Final Four contenders. Talk about them plenty over the weekend. But for bracket purposes, I'm a little bit more interested in Arkansas, Oklahoma State. Arkansas, probably the fourth team in the SEC behind Kentucky, Florida, South Carolina. Those teams have separated themselves. Arkansas sort of on a tier by themselves. Not quite as good as the top three, but clearly better than the rest of the conference. No really good wins on their resume. What they've done is basically beat everyone that they should beat. Don't have a ton of losses. Oklahoma State, we talked a little earlier about those ACC teams, Clemson and Pittsburgh. Oklahoma State is sort of the Clemson or Pittsburgh of the Big 12. Just 2-6 in conference. They lost their first 6 conference games. We're talking to Baylor, Kansas, West Virginia. Not a bad loss, but again, you can't lose 10 or 11 conference games and get in. They've won their last 2, beating Texas Tech and TCU. I think those are teams with tournament resumes. I have both of them in my field of 68 this week, so those are 2 very good wins for Oklahoma State. Now, what's at stake for these 2 teams? Committee loves non-conference wins. We know they love true road wins also, so a little bit more for Arkansas, but the committee loves non-conference victories against tournament quality competition. Either team, whoever wins this game, is going to get such a win this weekend. That's what makes it big for both of them. And then the game on the bottom, Villanova, Virginia, same as Kansas, Kentucky. These teams are going dancing. Virginia just got a great win at Notre Dame, a game they won comfortably, a game they led comfortably the entire time. If you haven't watched Virginia, just because Anthony Gill, Malcolm Brogdon, those guys are gone, keep an eye on this team. This is going to be a dangerous team again this season. You are going to want to tune in to this game and see what they can do against the Villanova team, of course, that we talked about a little earlier, having lost their last game earlier this week at Marquette. But again, those 2 teams safely in the dance, going to be highly seeded. If you're really looking at the field of 68 as a whole and which one is going to affect teams in terms of being in and out, that middle one, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, that's the one you want to have your eye on this weekend.
Keep your eye on that non-conference matchup as well as the headliner you see there, Kentucky and Kansas. If you missed the previous editions of Beller's Bracketology from this Thursday, don't worry, we have it for you on demand on your favorite 120 platform. Just search Beller's Bracketology, and you'll find those conversations on demand.